Friends, good evening. Indian economy is in the quarter third in 2024 financial year grows at the GDP, real GDP growth, real GDP growth at 8.4% in quarter third. Real GDP growth. Real GDP growth and nominal GDP growth are the two terms. The real GDP growth is the real growth rate in which the inflation is you know negated from the normal GDP growth. That's the real GDP growth. Otherwise, if you calculate the nominal GDP growth, it would be the above 10%. If you add the inflation, effect of inflation into the Indian economy, that is the difference for real GDP. But the matter which I am talking about is the India's growth projection. Unemployment rate today also said that the uh, National Statistical Office (NSO) said that the Indian unemployment rate reduced from 3.6% to 3.1% in 2023. So that's very good thing. Unemployment rate is also downing right now, and the projection of Indian economy is very high, and many predicting that India would be the uh, in 2047 a developed economy. I don't buy this concept. Definitely, the Indian economy would be at a right place. We will reach that in within 2027-28 would be the third economy. Definitely, no doubt about this. We are at the right trajectory. Global investment is continuously growing. Foreign direct investment and portfolio investment, FPI, is also institutional investors, and we have opened up our economy, every sector. Even though space sector is right now 100% in some segments, satellite design and kind of system in which security doesn't, affects the country, have allowed it 100% investment, direct route through the, without government intervention, 100% FDI. So that's a very nice thing. Government does it and making plan for the Indian economy to boost. Uh, I Everybody is saying that the rating agency called Moody Global Agency and many others predicting that Indian economy will grow in the next 10 to 20 years uh, above the 7% rate. That's a very nice thing. Definitely it would grow. I would also said that I don't know uh, what are the grounds they are calculating it, but the present strength of the economy, the prediction that these uh, agencies, rating agencies, the prediction that they are making on the ground, that is on the current status of the economy than the projection they are making. But when the investment is coming into India, pouring into India, so that would also impact our economy. Translates into economic development that is not being aided right now. So I don't think these data are right, but the current is their production on the current economic strength is definitely good, and that is right, no doubt. You know, but the factor uh, which would be added in future is not being considered, and nobody can consider it. What the contribution, what the foreign direct investment will come into the future in the amount, people don't know it. No? Only we can assume that the future would be good. Nobody knows what will happen in the future. What will happen? Nobody knows exactly. But the indicators is showing that yes, we have economic strength. We have population. Population. I mean the human resourced. Engineers, etc., which is needed for the right investment into the economy. So human resource development is right now moving. In India have all these components. It will definitely translates into the economic, strength of the country. And many is predicting that definitely India would move into the next level. So that is a very nice thing. And also, I got the news that India is the fourth in the global ranking after China, Japan, China, US, and Japan. India comes to fourth into the patent, you know, rights. So that's very nice news. We have innovation ranking that I think the 34 in the global ranking. Innovation translates into the technological development. Then technological development translates into the economic well-beings. Then economic well-beings translates into the social upliftment. So that's a very nice thing, and we are very optimistic that we are moving ahead. You know, uh, very positive, symptoms. Uh, that's very nice. Educational institution filed a 19,430 patent right in 2023. So that's very, you know, good thing. And thanks. That is I wanted to share. And very recently, one thing also must be shared with you that uh, consumer, you know, uh, national consumer uh, data, consumer survey data, very recently released by the government, which shows that the consumption by the Indian citizens is, growing. Per capita consumption into the food and etc. nutritional kind of things in rural and urban areas is also growing rapidly. People are investing into their health and nutrition because the earning level is growing. So that's a very nice thing. And also, I read the report in 2 days ago that the extreme poverty level in India has been significantly reduced, and it is right now the only 3.1% people living into the extreme poverty. You know, we have removed the 97% of extreme poverty into our country by the various dimensions of eradication of poverty called as multidimensional poverty index MPI, which is being published by the Oxford University and the UNDP, the United Nations Development Programs. And these two institutions together publishes it, but India, you know, uh, has its own, in which 12 indicators have been added, being published by the Niti Aayog, which is its own Indian agency. Niti Aayog publishes it. So that's the very nice thing, indicators representing that we are, moving ahead. And thanks to Prime Minister Narendra Modi, uh, I don't comment on this because it's your, uh, way of thinking, and according to your own conscience, you have to use it to whom you have to vote. But I would say that definitely Prime Minister Narendra Modi opened up when he joined office since 2014. The economic reforms he have made uh, is very, very good. I have seen Indian economy and budget. I have studied everything, um, doing well. definitely doing well as a seasoned politician. He's working hard, and he opened up uh, every dimension of Indian economy and infrastructure to you know infrastructure to many dimensions. He opened up. He took you know a tough decision maker. He what he think, what he thought, he does it. He implements that thought and translates into the economy. That's a very nice thing. You use your own conscience. It is my opinion. That doesn't mean that what is I am thinking is absolutely right, and you have to obey that. You need to use your own conscience and examine the facts that it's that you should vote to him or somebody else. But I do follow many things which is government does, but many things I don't follow. His politics is I don't like. But yes, politician I think does so. Everybody does it. So why not does not this politician does so? So politics is one thing, but the things uh, going ahead. One thing I want to also make a comment: institutional uh, submissions to the Narendra Modi government. Narendra Modi government actually one thing does wrong. That is, uh, in my opinion, he wants to control every institution directly or indirectly. Since Modi came to power, he in passed the law from the parliament to appoint judges into the Supreme Court and High Courts, National Commission, for appointment of judges. And thanks to Supreme Court, he struck down the law. He wanted to appoint a judge through the government machinery, and the judicially independence of judiciary would be the question mark. So the Supreme Court ruled that, and it struck down. That is a very important thing. And the second thing is a very independence of the institution called as election commission. So election commission, Mr. Goel, Arun Goel, which is right now the election commissioner, was appointed uh, by uh, Mr. Prime Minister 1.5 year. I think it may be 1.5 year ago. And this, appointment went to the Supreme Court, and many discussions went on that time. Supreme Court directed the government you have to pass the law to appoint the election commission and chief election commissioner and two election commissioner plus. So Parliament passed a law, Mr. Modi, in 2023, very recently, 3 or 4 months ago. He does pass the law, and in that law, he made uh, the court advised the government you have to make a committee, 3-member committee in which the Supreme Court Chief Justice of India, plus opposition member and the Prime Minister would be the three key members. And these three members, by their consensus, will appoint the election commissioners. Okay. So what the bill Mr. Modi does in the bill, he removed the CGI, Chief Justice of India. He removed, and on his place, he you know passed into the bill. He added the minister appointed by the appointed by the prime minister. Means his colleagues. They replaced by the Supreme Court judge. So that's the very independence in the appointment of commissioners is, being questioned. And third component is Mr. Modi's government does is wrong. Electoral bond, you know, electoral bond scheme, which also Supreme Court struck down. So that was also undermining the independence of our democratic election process. So these three components is very and Pegasus, software spyware. That was also a fourth component which Mr. Modi did wrong. So in my mind, in the present time, these four Mr. Modi does great wrong, and I that's why I don't like him. But many positive things he has does that I appreciate that, but I don't follow him. I don't like him. He actually what he does wrong, is a thing which makes the governance system entirely corrupt. His damage was very high, the degree of damage. If these things were into the implementation implemented, then the damage that may have occurred is very high. Institutional subversion is very high. So, thanks to the independence of the judiciary, the Supreme Court, which struck down each and everything that Mr. Modi and is powerful, he is in a majority, he is doing everything autocratically, if you are in the special majority, 2/3 in the parliament, then you can we have autocratically, do your wish, implement your wish. So only one body that is called as Supreme Court is according to Constitution of India is independent. That can only struck down the laws and the policies, whatever the government makes. So that's why you can see this Mr. Modi's autocratic behavior that uh, opposition is right now absent in India. That's very story. I will tell you in detail how they, made the plan to, cut out opposition and demonize their values. Yeah, that's very important thing. You must have to understand how Mr. Modi does wrong. I don't know why he is doing this, but I openly say that this is not good, even though he doesn't know the impacts of this. I think otherwise he would not have done this. Damage is very high. If these things went straight forward without any restriction, without any Supreme Court rulings, then it may have, great damage to the country. So, thanks to the Supreme Court and many others who petitioned into the Supreme Court these, his actions, and thanks to the Supreme Court that it struck down. So, thank you very much. These are my opinion. I may have wrong, but I am in the system, so looking it very carefully. So thank you very much for watching. Thanks.